Okay, hello and welcome. And next I am planning to show you that how to replace this Toyota Prius cars, this front headlight bulb, what is there inside. And now I am talking this left side, and then we continue. Okay, and first step is to take this fuse box away, what is in here, and in that box we can take away so that when here is this area, and then in here these joints, we need to, in that position, we need to press this area and then lift up, and then this cover opens. And there is that kind of pressing point in here. When I press that and then lift up, this other area, there are those joints in here. Okay, and then we can see in here this fuse box, and then next step we have that we need to look in this area in here, and there is this, we need next this light, we can look in there and just in here, and then be carefully with this fuse box, do not drop any tools in here, and carefully look that area and work very carefully with this fuse box, do not touch these. And then when we look in here, there is idea that this joint in here, we need to move, take this joint out like our fingers, or then somehow pull that out. This can be very tight, and then there is also possibility that there is that kind of cover what we can rotate in that way, and then this rubber boot opens when we move that in this way. Now when it is a little bit loosened, before actually this was not the first thing. First thing was to take this cable, what is in here, this electric cable, what is this white part. Now we can see that this is the first thing that I need to take out. It is just this part, and it opens so that I take my fingers in this area and then look at it, that kind of movement, and pull out. And it is this part, little bit movement and pull out. Now it's free. This is like headlight bulb, mine cable, and then when we look here, we can see that there is this next thing what I need to open. Okay, next thing is in here that I need to open next this metallic pin. It is quite difficult to see, but let's look what I can show. There is idea that there is more metallic pin what I a little bit move and use gloves, because this is, and actually now I can take this rubber, this part away in this way. This is next step, yes. There is this rubber, and there is also in this rubber's inside area there is that kind of plastic cover. An idea opens also when we rotate these. Now these are free. Good, and then when we look in here, there we can see this bulb, and there is metallic wire. I need to carefully then I first touch, and this is quite difficult position. There is my bulb, Pulp is, can we see it? Yes, there is this pulp's head in there, good. And there is this metallic wire, what we can see. And next I need to take this cape wire away. And let's look how it happens. It is a very difficult job, but I hope best. First this pulp, and there is this metallic. This metallic cable keeps this pulp in position. There is this one. There is this cable. It is in position. And we use our fingers. There is pulp. Where is this metallic? And I take small break that I can find this cable. Okay, and now I found that it is just in here, this part in here. I need to press that part in here, just what is in. Then when I press down, then it will move. This is this locking pin, and now it's free. Now I can take this pulp out, and then remember that this pulp must be in this way. Look this side. That way it goes in there. Look these points. In this way, and then I take the pulp. And we can also check that what like there is some. Yes, this first pulp is broken in there, and in that way, and then I take new pulp. I insert the old one. Old one is there, and then I take new pulp. And there is my new pulp. And then remember that we have to handle this really carefully. That when I open this package in that way there is this important notice that no only touch in here this area. Look, no ever in that. This is forbidden. If we do that way, then this pulp is old, and this is dead, and this is by the way old pulp. Then I take this new one in here. It's just in here, and this is the only area where I can keep that. And then this pulp comes in this way. Look, this is the right way. 2 spikes down and 1 first. And then let's look at how it goes in that hole. In here. Now it's going, and then I only carefully I check that, and then we can use, like in this help, in this area that we look in here. There is this my pulp coming, and this is good help. Now it's finally goes in there, and then remember that this lower area, what is in there, it must be in that position, and finally it goes very nicely this way. Look this down area. There must be that way. This, and now when it goes in there, now it's fine, and then we can go to look also in that area, that how it looks like. Okay, can we see anything? Okay, there is this bulb. Yes, in that position, and then the spring is in there. And I need to install the spring next. This is the spring, and it goes in there, and it goes nicely. And then when I press that in here, final step is like small move, and this is this position. This is difficult trick. This spring goes in there, and then final I need to little bit move that down. And then this one. Now it's fine. Okay, cool. Now we can maybe see that in what position this spring is also. Okay, good. Okay, and there is this. This is difficult place, but we can see something. Okay, good. Now, next step is that I need to insert this rubber cover, that one, and it happens so that we check first this hole, and then I start to install that one here. This is also a little bit difficult thing. And I little bit install that, and soon we check my result. Okay, and now this cover is in place. Look, this part, this bike is in here. And then when we look, it's important that we can see those metallic pins in there. That way. Good. And then I take this. My cable. This is my cable, and it goes in that way and directly to those metallic spikes. Okay, it's not working there. I check that this situation. Okay, and now it should be. Okay, good. Now it's there, good. And then I only check that can I see this light, big light in there. Can I insert lights on? And now lights are on and everything is fine. And then remember, this part should be installed also inside this rubber area. And then of course next steps are that I need to install this fuse box back. And it happens that first this area, a little bit movement, that it goes those holes, and then only press in here. And now this job is done. Okay, and thank you for watching that video. Okay, hello and welcome. And next I am planning to show you that how I can replace this Toyota Prius car, this headlight bulb, what is in there. And now this area is right side. And this job starts so that I need to take this washer fluid tank a little bit away, and there is some things to do, and we look next that job. Okay, and first there is this washer fluid cable. It is good to take away in that position in here, so that we need only lift up and it's free. And then we have a little bit bigger job, and there is this washer fluid bolt, and this is a little bit long and tight bolt, and we need for that 10mm wrench, and then I only open that in this way, and this takes time, couple of minutes, and then when we have rotated enough, I have already rotated, then it finally opens. And look, there is that kind of specific bolt, and this bolt thread is long. And then I start a little bit lift that up, but in that position I need to open these covers next too. Okay, and these things in here, we need to open these plastic fasteners, like in here. These fasteners open so that we need flathead screwdriver, and then when we insert this part in here, we lift up and we take these fasteners away. And in here we have also similar things in here that I only a little bit, and normally these are very difficult to open, and this goes broken normally always, and we need to purchase these new fasteners in Toyota dealership, because now there's one broken and one in here, but the idea is to take this cover out, and when I take this cover out in that position, we can go to look in there in that area, and there is this our target, that in here we have again this fastener, and then when I a little bit bend that up, I can open it, and there is this fasteners, and this cost about $1 piece from Toyota dealership center. And then I take this plastic cover out, because we need space. Now this cover is there, it is in here, and then we can look in that area a little bit more. And now there is a situation that this area, this part, we need again flasher. We can look a little bit better, and there is then this rubber boot. Before of that, we need to take this electric cable out, and that cable, it is just there. Can we see? Yes, this white part in here, that one, just what I am touching. And next I need to take that out so that I a little bit move that. I insert my hand, and then I a little bit move that way, and then pull out this cable. This next job, it is quite tight, but now it opens. There's this cable, only movement and pull out, and this is this cable's position. Okay, and now good. And then we have this rubber boot, this one in here, and it opens so that when I move that I need to move that in this direction, then it opens in that way. And this rubber boot is away. And then look, there is inside that kind of cover in this rubber boots inside, what we need to install back. And there's idea that movement and then pull out. Okay, and now we are in quite nicely. We can maybe see this pulp. everything is fine. There's my flasher. Can we see that? There's yes, a little bit. We can a little bit see that. There's this bulb. It's difficult place, but yes, a little bit we can see. This is the bulbs. Those metallic points, and then there is metallic wire what I need to touch, and this is where it is, because I need to press that. Okay, now I'll find it. And now I move that wire. It is that kind of wire in here, that one. And there's idea that I little bit move that, and then it pops out. And this wire, it keeps this bulb in position. Now bulb is in there, and I insert my hand, and there is this bulb. It's in here, and this bulb, it is in this way. Is this actually in that way? But this is the thing that look, one metallic point in here and 2 points down. And in these slots came this my cable. Put this in here, and this cable comes in that way. This lot in here, and then when I install that back, this rubber boot, it comes in that way. This is the idea. And then this cover, yes, it is in here, and this one comes that point, it comes in that way, and that next point goes in there, and this is like locking. Then I can insert that rubber boot. It comes a little bit upper, but this rubber black, this fastener and this rubber, it's a little bit difficult to install, but when we take time we can get good result. But there is this idea, and then I need of course new bulb, and I take my new bulb next. And there is this new bulb, and type is H4 and 60 divided 55 watts, and this is the symbol. And when I open that in this way, and this is wrong way to open, because I can't touch that, because if I touch this bulb then it's broken, and in that way we can only handle. There is this instruction that in this metallic part, in this area, take always this, and this is only area where we can handle this. This is new one. Now I start to install that back. At first this is the position, how it comes, and then we can look in there, in that area outside, that how it goes. Let's look first in there. What is there happening? There is this my bulb is there, and then I only take a little bit space, and then carefully, and be carefully that this is always clean. Do not touch any other areas. Now bulb is going. Then there is this hole, and then we can look that area. Here there is this point that can we see are okay, and there is this bulb in there inside. And now I clean that glass that we can look. There is this bulb. Then I insert my hand in here. My bulb is moving. Then I insert that in this down position. And I rotate and finally it goes only 2 spikes down. Now it's good. Now it's still good. Okay. I rotate my hand. Okay, and finally this bulb is in there nicely. Look, we can look here that it looks like nice. Okay, then we can look in here, and it is easy to check that is everything okay. And we look in that area and flash her. Okay, and okay, it is not maybe now in right way because those heads are in wrong position. I need to rotate that again. I need to rotate. Now I need to adjust this little bit and we continue soon. Okay, and now I noticed that my mistake was that this metallic cable, this metallic wire, that one, this one, it must be all time in like open in that way, and then I can install this this bulb, because if it goes in here it is like impossible to insert. Now it must be in that way. Okay, and it's quite difficult to keep open, but I have to keep this all time in this position when I am inserting this bulb. Okay, now it's like right position. Look, this wire must be in this position, and then I can insert this my bulb next. Okay, there is my bulb, and now it goes in there. Now I need okay, and now we can look in that area that how this bulb comes, and bulb should be and must be in that position. look that these cables are here, and in that way I insert it. Let's look at how it is. Okay, there pulp comes. Okay, in that way. Good. Then I only check that is this pulp location right. Okay, now it is in right position, and then I insert this metallic wire. What is in this wire, what I am touching, I need to then insert this cable, this wire in back, in that way. There is this wire and it goes in there, and then I need to only little bit move, like lock it. Okay, now it should be in there, like in locking position. Okay, and this wire is in place, and then this pulp is like tight. It is like now pulp is okay, good. And then I take this my rubber wood, this rubber cover, and I insert that back in there. Okay, now I am inserting this rubber board, and first one was this, I check those pins, and then I insert, then I use light. And then I rotate this board in that position. Okay, good. Then I check that are those metallic pins in there. And when this boot is okay, we continue. Okay, and then when this boot is okay, I need to install this electric cable pack, and there is this is this electric cable, and it goes in that way in their pack. And I insert it here, and now the vent in there we can maybe look. Can we see something? Yes, we can see that there it is. And then I check that how this light works. Now pulp is there. Okay, and then I test that how this pulp works. Okay, and pulp is working. And now this job is done, and thank you for watching.